Bright suns and rising moons, fellow droids, welcome to another episode of Not the Droids podcast. I'm Danny.
And I'm Mayuri. And today we are going to be going through Young Jedi Adventures episodes 5 and 6. Danny, can you tell us more about it?
So, the episodes we are covering are the Jelly Fruit Pursuit, Creature Safari, Squadron, Forest Defender. And then, so they released on Disney Plus on May 4th. And then episode 5 released on May 26th on Disney Junior. And episode 6 released on June 2nd on Disney Junior 2023.
Oh, so that's only just a year ago.
Year ago. So I have been forgetting the year. And I'm like, oh, they released a year ago because this was season 1.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
No. And if you want to join us on this journey and follow along with us as we're watching them, so before the podcast even comes out, head over to our links that you can find on the website or on any of our social media and join our Discord. We have them separated so there's no spoilers, so you can tune in through each episode and just join in our conversation. And who knows, maybe we'll talk about those conversations on the podcast.
Yeah, it'll be a great place to meet other people watching, engage with us. I'm very excited about the Discord.
Me too. I want to build that community and just start having more. And one of the things I love about Star Wars and community is also shown in this first episode of the Jelly Fruit Pursuit. One of my favorite things is that we're seeing the Jedi in their local community.
Yeah, so it's like you see them doing their acts of service at the beginning where they're helping to set up for the festival. I thought the little call out to the little star decorations getting stuck to everything was so funny. And I was like, oh, it's the glitter of Star Wars.
It really is. And then Nubs tried to help. And Nubs has fur, man.
I just had those flashbacks because it was in that star shape. Do you know those toys, the little balls with the spiky
Oh my gosh.
ends that people get kids get stuck in their hair so bad? And I had a moment. I was like, oh no, Nubs. No, no, no,
Yeah,
no,
yeah, because
no,
those are
no.
not fun to get out.
Yeah, and so but I mean, it's a cartoon, so I don't think they think about those logistics. Though I wonder who is combing out Nubs's fur to make it so nice and pleasant and not matted. I wonder.
Maybe Nubs enjoys a good conditioner and brush out, blow out, spoils himself a little. He
Can you
also
imagine?
had he has Jedi powers. He could just be like,
Oh,
shh.
that's true. Do you think he just uses force powers
He's got really great conditioner.
to style his mane? Um, no, it's so funny. I like seeing Nubs participating too, because I think we've mentioned before, sometimes he seems like an afterthought. I honestly did not feel differently this episode. Nubs
No,
is
like that. This
still,
was really like his only moment of this episode.
yeah, that's the moment where you see him, and then everywhere else he's just kind of tagging along and being told what to do. You don't ever see Nubs take initiative.
And I'm curious to see more of Nubs because at Star Wars Celebration, the meet and greet was with Nubs.
So, I mean, does he become a bigger character
I don't
later
know, or
on?
do people just love him because he's cute?
He's so cute.
Like, we'll talk about some of his other cuteness for later in this episode because
Oh,
there's
yes. There's some other things, but no, my favorite. So, obviously, Tabor came. I love Tabor. I'm not
yep,
gonna lie. When he came and he went to the farm, he stole the jelly fruit from
from
the little
Weibo.
granny, Weebo and her grandkid. I was like, that's not a good look, Tabor. But Tabor did say something which I thought was hilarious and actually embodies their lifestyle and how Tabor doesn't value community because Tabor goes, why share it when you can sell it?
Mm-hmm.
And that's always
Doesn't know.
interesting to me. He doesn't know because where are his parents? We don't know. He's just constantly trying to impress these pirates at the tower. And so I'm just like, are they just like not including Tabor because they think he's not a real pirate? And
Because
he's
he's a
just,
kid.
I mean, that's true. I mean, but
So
yeah,
our Jedi adventurers head to the planet Yarum,
yeah,
which is where Tabor is
yeah,
selling
the Garum Towers.
the
That's where the
jelly.
pirates, yeah. Um, so like we've heard of Yarum Tower, which is where Tabor is from. I love that like Nash disguises them, and it like gives me it's like very like Descendants with Charming in like they look.
Pirate Nubs is the cutest thing ever.
Pirate Nubs was adorable, but they all look hella crazy.
Yeah.
They all look crazy.
Pirate Nash is someone who is not, which I know this is not true because we know Nash has encountered pirates, but Pirate Nash is someone who has not encountered or spoken to any pirates and just goes off of what she's heard. Like
Like
she is stereotyping pirates in
it's
everything she
she's like
does.
she's like, you have to act tough. Did you notice? I put a thing, Nash's posture when she walks as a pirate is with her arms out, like
She's stereotyping pirates. Like everything she does, the way she speaks and her mannerisms is all like someone that hasn't met these pirates,
and
which
she's
we learn
only
like
heard
later
about
on. It's
them.
just it's all hearsay.
It's all hearsay because she meets like they meet a pirate who's like already eating one of the jelly fruit,
Hmm.
and he ended up being so nice.
So nice.
So nice.
Um,
Um,
new favorite phrase, which will be the curse word of this podcast, blaster
Blaster
bolts.
bolts.
You say
I
it too cheery. Remember, you're supposed to be swearing.
oh yeah. Oh, because we're mean pirates. Is like
No, because if
blaster
you're swearing,
bolts.
do you go around swearing like blaster bolts?
I don't know. I also wrote that in really big letters because I thought it was
I
hilarious.
enjoyed it.
Um, but yeah, one of those my favorite moments is like the team has a huddle about how they're going to trick Tabor into thinking that they're pirates when they're actually Jedi. They're still standing in front of the adult pirate the
Yeah.
entire time. And I was like, are we just pretending that like sound is not traveling anymore? Like that pirate's not going to do
Adults don't pay
anything?
attention to kids.
I just thought it was funny. I did need to give my props to Pord because the more that we see Pord, I think Pord's a girl. I don't, they never really talk about it, but they have the best style. I was looking at Pord's outfit and I was like, oh, we have fashionista over here. But yeah.
Hort
And
from Star Wars Young Jedi
yes,
Adventures is a female Gamorrean pirate.
yes. So that's where I was just like, I finally noticed like Port has like the little helmet with the little ears, but they're wearing like a dress, like kind of like a hula dress, a little bit
Mm-hmm.
like a straw dress and sandals. And I was like, she's got little eyelashes.
Port's got style.
Port's got style. And maybe it's like Tabor, they're like the fashion pirates.
Maybe. We still have
I do.
not seen Tabor's face, but we see all the other pirates' faces. Let's mention this.
Yeah, so all the other pirates don't have helmets on. Tabor has a helmet on the whole time. And also, Tabor actually compliments Kai's helmet before Kai
Is Kai
falls.
the birthplace of stormtrooper uniforms or like this?
Well, because it's like, what? When
Because
did
so far we really haven't
stormtroopers?
seen any other characters that wear helmets.
Yeah,
But we know eventually we get like the stormtroopers, we get the Mandalorians. Like, is Tabor the reason?
that everybody has helmets. But here's the other flip side. It's like maybe like we don't know where Tabor comes from,
We
but
don't.
maybe Tabor's parents are from who knows? They could be
Maybe he's a
Mandalorian.
shunned Mandalore.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking, I was like, maybe they're like the, what are they called? Like the evangelist Mandalorians that like I forget exactly what that
But
sect was
yeah, we
called.
haven't seen his face, and I was kind of expecting that to be the pirate route, and then I'm like, oh no, we see these pirates. They're great. They're
My
nice
favorite
enough that once they like save the jelly fruit, Nash invites them to come to the community picnic.
No, but my favorite is when they find out that Tabor stole this from a
A
old lady
grandmother.
farmer. They actually got upset. They
They
were
were
just
like,
like,
that's not cool.
that's not cool, bro. It's a single, like, it's an old lady farmer. We don't rob them.
Old lady farmer trying to feed her community. Come on, man.
But I did like that that was it Nash gave Tabor a jelly fruit at the end,
Yeah,
which Tabor,
because the event is about sharing with everyone, even pirates.
like, it's a big, that's the lesson, right?
Yeah.
Like, sharing is caring.
Community and sharing. And
Yes.
we invited our pirates because we broke their stuff so many times.
Yes. They did break so much stuff.
Mhm.
Um, what was I gonna say? Like, going into the next one, I
Creature safari.
the creature safari. They were on a different planet this time.
Yamrati.
Yamradi. And I thought it was so funny because they're like with two droids. One is named Cam because it's a little camera,
Hmm.
and the other one was Ari. Like, so the subtitle spelt it Aree, but originally I thought it was like RE.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's where I was just like, do our droids just now have names?
This is my theory on this episode. Whoever the writer was from Australia.
Oh, really?
Our creature is a chillaroo. That's so freaking Australian.
Oh, like
Our
kangaroo.
new creature ends up being called a burrowberry. This starts off like a Steve Irwin animal documentary.
Documentary. Yeah.
And
Because
I
they're
love
like,
Steve Irwin, by the way.
like,
Like nothing
so
against him, but like this is just very Australia coded episode over here. And if I'm
I
wrong, I'm
I would agree with
sorry.
you where like they're going on a creature safari. They're only seeing the little creatures because the big ones scare them. Um,
A
but
chillaroo.
yeah,
How
a
is that? A
chillaroo.
chillaroo lives in Australia.
That's not it's you're just I agree. The kangaroo, yeah, it's a little bit of that.
Or like didgeridoo, like all the ooze.
Yeah.
Ari, our host
Host?
droid of the what was the Galactic Creature
Yeah,
Guide is what they're
book.
working on.
Yes.
Ari feels a little C3PO coded. Just like me, like
Just a lot of panic.
a bit of panic. Yeah, he just felt very C3PO coded.
That's funny. No, I just like I thought it was funny. So one of the comments I had on this episode is like, where are they broadcasting this show to that Cam is recording? And it just brings me back to the tablet kids.
Yeah,
And I'm just like, oh,
because Liz knows this show. Liz is like, this is my favorite show. I have the guidebook.
I think they
This
called the
this is the
tablet
Nat
something.
Geo of the Star Wars universe.
It's Nat Geo. But that's why I was just like, I do love that like the droids are doing it and that there weren't like actual like people.
Yeah.
Because it's like it kind of keeps up with the theme that the droids actually do a lot, right? Like when they that episode where they like went out into space to explore and they ended up finding out that the actual explorer was a droid. So I was like, ooh, droids have jobs.
They do.
Yeah. My favorite, also another favorite moment of mine is like they use their lightsabers as flashlights in this
It
episode.
makes sense.
I mean, yes, I feel like it's a very dangerous flashlight, but yeah, no. This one was the lesson wasn't as clear.
No, this one was just like a fun little adventure. Even how
I
it
think
started, I was like, this is different because Cam looks like a berry. He got kidnapped.
I did like when they dressed Nubs and Kaya in berries with like the berry skirt and the berry hat and the berry
Yes.
necklaces. That was funny, but I think the lesson for this is like keep calm and carry on because I think like
Kind of,
it,
yeah.
it's to kind of like center yourself. It's like that theme of some of the other
Stay
episodes,
calm, like think through what you're doing, use some logical reasoning on why the brown droid was kidnapped by the bird.
which doesn't eat it. So
And then was it Nubs that was in the tree and fell out by a bunch of round berries? Like it's
yeah.
hinting there. They never like addressed that at that time. But we're like,
Yeah.
there was a reason that Nubs was in a tree and you could see berries.
Yeah, it was to kind of get there.
I'll give you a pass if you are of the actual age range this show is aimed for if you did not catch that.
I did catch that early in the episode, and I was just like, oh, the camera looks like the berries. I wonder if that's why the bird leaves are in the trees and why they took the cam. The only other observation I made out here, and I've noticed this in a few episodes, but I didn't really pick up on it so much. But do you notice that when Liz runs, they animate her with her arms straight out behind her back?
the the Goku run. Like
I was looking at it and I was like, I actually went back and I was like, she does not. But yeah, I think this was a pretty easy episode. It's getting easier for them to control the force, which is nice. Like they're not like struggling and pushing as hard. I think they're
yeah.
like they're
And
a
they
little bit
kind
more
of are
smoother with it.
naturally working together.
Yeah, like to have it complement because like Nubs fell out of the tree and then the two of them just like they weren't struggling to keep him up, which I think a few episodes ago they were
Yeah.
to like lift him. And they just automatically go to working together,
Yes.
which was nice.
So
But
until next time, creature lovers, we're heading to the next episode.
oh yes,
I
Squadron.
enjoy that they had like a little like outro.
Oh well, because it's a TV show, right?
It
Like,
is.
thanks for joining us. It was really cute. And that's where I was just like, where is this show being televised across the galaxy? Like,
It's Nat Geo for Star Wars.
seriously. I really did the next episode.
Squadron.
I Squadron, I had so many issues with Kai, and I was just like, Kai, why are you the whole problem every time?
We meet a new friend named Zephyr.
Oh yes, Zephyr. So they went to a moon. So like this what is it? Starship repair shop on the moon, on one of the moons of Tanu. So it was so fun where it's just like, oh, they're a starship repair shop, but also they build training ships for young Jedi to practice with,
I'm questioning
which
giving these children ships.
honestly, like at this point, I'm questioning. Honestly, the only person I question is Kai, because clearly the other two can handle the responsibility. But Kai is like, oh, no, no, no. I must be an expert right
Just like
out the
Nash,
gate.
who is literally raised driving ships.
Yeah, like it's their whole job. Their parents are also pilots. Like, I did write a note that the throttle booster, which is the trick that Nash does, where they swing around, they go up, they cut the booster, fall, and then start it up again, felt very similar to a trick that we've seen before on a broomstick. Um, the wonky fade, bronze.
The
How what is
Ronsky faint.
yeah, Ronsky Fate. I always call it the wonky Fate because of my girl. But yeah, so that's where it's just like this whole episode, Kai is a menace from start to finish.
Yes.
And it's just like causing so much property damage.
You're just excited for
Seriously.
some toys.
I can't even the damage to the Crimson Firehawk, I would be losing my mind. Nash has the patience of a saint. I was like, this kid just scraped the crap out of your ship. And you're just like, it's okay.
Yeah,
the
Kai is not
Firehawks.
ready to be traveling by himself in a spaceship.
No. No. And then he also causes more damage in the other spaceship, like the little fighter jet thingies that they're training with.
Yep.
Because I'm like, what part of
And our
training?
lesson is take it easy, you're still learning.
The lesson is pay attention to the teacher.
Yeah.
It should be pay attention to the teacher. It is very much like take it easy. You don't have to be an expert. We're still learning, like stuff like that. But I just
We're struggling with our dear friend Kai over here. And I
well,
feel
because
like
he
Kai will possibly grow up to be a good Jedi.
maybe
Might
as long
not
as
grow
Liz
up.
is there,
We don't know
Liz.
quite. We don't know quite which younglings are unyounglinged.
Oh, we don't know. Also, like, how long are they younglinged? Like, how long are they considered younglings, right? Because, like, this is 200 years before Phantom Menace.
Well, I think they go from younglings to be like Padawans until they have their like direct mentor.
Yeah, so, like, that's where it's just like, how long are they in that
I think it
situation?
depends on the kid.
Yeah. Um,
Kai might be a youngling for a while.
Goes off into space by himself, being like, I think I should train in the asteroids.
This
That's a great
episode is
idea.
about questioning the adults and what you know about your students and allowing them to do solo. Like it was one thing to
But,
let them
like,
like climb a mountain solo, but a ship
I
that
just
they've
put them,
never
well, I mean,
driven?
so I know they said that they've taken flying lessons, right? Like it's part of the Jedi training. And I understand where they were like, well, Nash, who seems to be an appropriate teacher for them,
Mm-hmm.
the only issue is that you had a squirrel child
Mm-hmm.
in the class as well that was like, I want to do
It's
tricks.
it's not just like a squirrel child though. It's a I want to play with the toys.
Yes. Well, because like they flew there, they saw the giant slug, and he didn't think that, like, oh, this could be a problem.
No. He went, I can do that.
Yeah. But I also like I feel like even as we get into the next episode, the Forest Defenders one, um
Squadron, not one of my favorite episodes.
no, I don't think so. It wasn't
It's
mine.
low. It
I
just
just like
felt very flat.
it felt very flat, and like I said, it's just like very Kaya's nonsense heavy. Right?
Yes.
Like everybody else was again a back. I feel like everybody was a background character in that episode, and they
Yes.
just like kind of went along. You know, Liz is usually the critical thinker of the group, and like there was nothing from Liz to be like, hey,
Maybe you shouldn't.
maybe we shouldn't fly around an asteroid
Yeah.
field or anything like
So
that.
let's leave our dear friend Kai behind with his spaceship and head to the Bulgarian forest where we learn the lessons of the Lorax. Forest defenders. You look confused.
Yeah, did you just say the Lorax?
Yeah. Did you not watch this episode?
I did watch this episode. Are you talking about like the Dr. Seuss Lorax?
Yes.
Oh, I've never read that one. I actually was like, this is such a Fern Gully episode.
It's all, yeah, I can see that too. Which is
That
also
was
essentially the Lorax with the
I've never read or seen the Lorax.
there's a
They made
whole
a movie,
section at
right?
Universal. You are a
I
season
don't
pass holder, ma'am. Stop over there next
I
time.
don't go through it.
That's the shortcut to
Um,
Nubs feeling bad for the forest is the sweetest, most heartbreaking moment in this series so
yes.
far. When he puts his little hand
And on the tree.
on the tree stump.
I just like I mean, I actually think this was quite a political episode for Disney. Low key. I think so.
Well,
Deep
I'm just,
words.
you said for Disney, and I'm like,
Well,
have you met the Star Wars universe?
that's true. That
I
is
guess you
true.
haven't met all the Star Wars universe yet, so I take that
No,
back. I won't hold that against you.
So I'm just like, like this whole deforestation, environmental issues.
Lorax.
Listen, I don't know what that story is. I don't. All I know is Fern Gully. Um, but no, so I honestly, this was sweet. It was very sad, and I loved that. The general lesson for this episode is obviously like save the environment. Respect.
Care for the land and the people that, well, creatures that live there. Our friends, the
Yeah.
Spriffles.
The Scriffles, they were so cute. I was not prepared for the giant chicken man.
This is what I wrote. What is Raxlow? Chicken Little gone bad. Because I love the Chicken Little movie, but you're probably going to tell me you've never seen either.
I have never seen chicken.
But he has the look of like the adult version of like grown
I
up
just
Chicken Little gone bad.
I just wrote giant chicken man. And then he had the like monocle, like the Star Wars version of a monocle. And I was like, oh,
And his droid is RC-99.
I know. A butler droid that was just so anxious. So
And he just
anxious.
didn't even, he's just like, just go.
It was just like, you are not in a good environment, friend. You need to escape. My favorite is like when they're like knocking and acting like cops. And
Hmm.
I was just like, why are they talking like that? Um,
So Raxlow's goal is to get rid of the Darien trees so that he can sell them and make money.
well,
The
because they're
Lorax.
it's a specialty wood. It's very rare in the galaxy. Is that the lore? I'm gonna have to read that.
The Lorax is the story of the Lorax who speaks for the trees, and a guy comes in, he cuts down all the trees for their tufts of hair to make feeds to sell and make more money, and ends up cutting down like the whole forest. And the Lorax is there to protect the forest, and he has the last seed of the Trophila trees that they have to plant. Who knew this
So
was going to be a Dr.
yes,
Seuss podcast?
I know. So yes, I'll agree that this is the Lorax episode. Especially when their teacher at the end was like, we'll reseed the forest, it
Mhm.
will be fine. I was very impressed with the chicken guy's machine that like cut through stone so easily, and I was just like, man,
Mhm.
you
I was
have
not so impressed with like them destroying the machine and Chicken Guy's like, I give up and just left. I'm like,
it's
what kind
given.
of villain are you? I was like, is this gonna be a villain? And then he left like that. I'm like, what?
I thought that it was going to be like an overarching villain because it's like an adult that's creepy looking, that
Yeah.
like hates these kids. It's like very Scooby
I mean,
Doo.
I feel like we could have gotten the same reaction had we used like Tabor for this instead of Chicken Man.
I very much was expecting Tabor to be, because we know that Tabor can build a machine, and we
Hmm.
know that Tabor likes to steal valuable things that are rare. So I was very, honestly, I was so shook. I was just like, what is this monstrosity? This is a grown adult. And I'm just like, I don't know. I think Tabor would have been a good one. Or even if they like introduced one of the other pirates that Tabor works with.
Yeah.
So like I feel like they might bring this chicken man Raxlow back around.
Yeah, so we'll have to
Um
see where
yeah.
that leads. Out of Jellyfruit Pursuit, Preacher Safari, Squadron, and Forest Defenders, who wins the episodes?
Nash. I could not stand Kai in any of these. Nubs is barely there.
The background character.
And I feel like Liz didn't really shine.
No,
Like,
they
yes,
used her so much in like the last two episodes and then like didn't use her in these.
and I expected her to be in Creature Safari, and she was, but I feel like it wasn't like as impactful.
No.
It was definitely like more of an ensemble thing. So I don't know. I feel that Nash, when Nash was in the episodes, really shined. especially with their expertise and like
Especially like the jelly
how much
pursuit.
yeah, also like how much respect Nash has for the community
Yes.
that they're from, like their parents like serve the community, they volunteer. She's known, like she's respected
Yes.
by the adults in the community too. So I'm just like, this says a lot about Nash. I do love that. I'm gonna skip ahead because I don't know who you think won, but I'm gonna put in RJ in the running because RJ somehow manages to have to watch the car every episode.
Yes. But then there was like the episode where he was like helping out with the creatures and he was just like running around. He was so cute.
So cute.
I did like Cam as the droid, but I do love RJ. But Cam kind
Yeah.
of had an entire episode, so that's kind of like a cop out.
Cam was so expressive for a droid. I
For a
did.
bobble droid. Like he's not even like a full body. He's just this little he's like the little guy from like Flubber. Like
I'm gonna bring this up because like we had so many creatures in this block of episodes. Which was your favorite creature that we met?
it was not you. The Welligrins.
Oh, the walrus things.
Yeah, they're so cute. I'm also like a big marine biologist nerd, and I'm like, these are part walrus, part penguin. We're
I
right.
enjoyed that they swim in snow, not
Yes, I
water,
really
the
like that.
snow.
I enjoy just that creature in general. I like the Scriffles, but like in my head, they're like, everyone else Scriffles has their home. And I'm like, wow, that is a forest full of rodents.
So I liked the scriffles. They do feel like rodents, but they also like the sound, the like tittering sound that they made. Do you remember in like I think it's the second or I think it's the second Jurassic Park movie where the like little animals like attack that little girl and they're just like they kind of reminded me of those dinosaurs.
So you like creatures that attack little girls. Okay.
No, no, no. I just said I enjoy their kind of group mannerisms because I love Jurassic Park. I did not enjoy that part of Jurassic Park, but I do enjoy the like
Yeah.
group think.
I'm sticking with the Welligrins. Well, it's also
Um,
like nice to see bigger creatures. Like we get a lot of rodent-esque cat size and under
yeah,
creatures.
we got like very big creatures in these blocks,
We
like the
did, yes. We got like more beasts type level of
yeah. Oh, you were
creatures.
gonna say monsters because you corrected me when I said
No,
monsters,
because I don't
but
think they're monsters.
that's true.
As someone who loves National Geographic, they're not monsters.
Okay, so giant creatures, so
Mhm.
beasts is the
Yeah,
correct word.
they're like closer to like the larger mammals of the world.
Yeah, some of them were really big, like the what do they end up calling it? The barrel
The
berry
berry burrow bird from
berry
Australia.
burrow.
You just try to tell me that's not from Australia.
It does sound like an
Say it with
animal
like
you
an
would see
Australian
there.
accent. Like, I need to
I
message Caleb. I'm like, Caleb, I need you to say this
don't.
and record it and send it to me.
Yes. I kind of agree. I kind of agree. Um, did you have any final thoughts about these episodes?
I
Something
enjoyed
you
the
kind of
jelly fruit pursuit.
that
As
was your favorite?
for, I love the idea of like the community aspect of that one.
Yeah. I think that was the best one of these as well, mostly because it didn't feel like nothing happened.
Yeah. Creature Safari felt like it was a bonus episode that they did like a behind like a here's a thing that we do. But I think Jelly Fruit Pursuit was the best of this run.
Yeah, I feel like you got, and I'm hoping that we get actual Nubs content where
Hope
like
so.
he's more than just like the afterthought. So I'm hoping that at some point, especially this season, that we can kind of like focus on plants,
We want more nubs.
more Nubs.
More nubs, more
Um,
RJ, and not just RJ watching the vehicle. And
Seriously.
moving the vehicle. Like he doesn't just watch the vehicle. Like he's not a
Also,
babysitter. They're
like with
like
his little flappy hands, like bop, 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 bop. RJ, fly the Crimson Firehawk.
Disney and Star Wars. Where's my RJ merch? I need a RJ and a
No,
Lola.
RJ.
I need
I
them on this shelf needs an RJ and a Lola.
So I'm not gonna lie, when you said the year that these came out, I know we had like talked about it during research, but I just like didn't click with me that it was just last year.
Yeah.
So like I just assumed that whatever merch there was had like finished long ago. And but there's no t-shirts, there's no merch for RJ. And I wonder if it's just because it's a kid shit. Like I haven't seen anything.
Where can we
Where can
find
I
you?
find you?
Look at us go.
I know. So I am at Mercurial Conjurer. And Danny, you are.
Mandrakes and Mischief.
So we as a podcast are on Instagram, Threads,
YouTube. TikTok.
YouTube, TikTok, all the podcast places as not
Video podcasts can be found on YouTube and
and
Spotify.
Spotify.
Audio on all the
Um,
other platforms.
and so what you're gonna search is Not the Droids Pod as a
Or just go to our
username.
Instagram page for all the links. Makes it easier.
There's always somewhere to find us. Especially
Email notthedroidspod@gmail.com because we are looking for guests.
yeah, whatever suits your fancy in Star Wars, if it's a specific show, episode, even if it's not going to be covered for a
Movie.
little while, or a movie.
If you want to, or if there's multiple, we're not opposed to having you on more than once.
Yeah, I
We
think
want
if
some
we had,
friends.
can you imagine if we only let a guest once? There's so many episodes. It'd be like, guys, we ran
We
through
have find a lot of people.
500 guests. But yeah, just email us. Like Danny said, it's
Tag your
at
friends that you think would be good guests.
oh yeah, that would be great. Like share it with your friends if they're constantly opining on Star Wars and you think that
Or if they haven't seen something yet. So we can get
yes,
them on for like a first episode of, if you have been trying to get them to watch Rebels, send them
I
our way or convince them to sign up because then they're required to watch it for us to do a podcast episode.
that's a
And
sneaky
that's how you
way.
get your friends into your favorite fandoms.
But yes, so we could go on, but for now, remember that we're not the droids you're looking for.
But we're the droids you're gonna get.